Always thinking of you greeting card. Hello, I'm Joanne of Crafting Inspirations, a Stampin Up Independent Demonstrator. I love to connect, inspire, motivate new and exciting possibilities through stamping. Please feel free to tag someone in the comment section on who you think would like this video, and remember to like and share this video yourself. You can leave me a comment about what you think of the stamp set and my color choice for today's project. If you have any questions, you can certainly leave a comment and I'll reply back. So today's card, is using the Very Versatile Stamp set, which consists of 7 stamps, and the order number for that is 149275. I will be using the Thanks for Laughs stamp set, and I'm going to be using the sentiment, how did I get so lucky to have a friend like you. This stamp set, Thanks for the Laughs, consists of 10 stamps, and the order number for this is 151670. I will be also using this Stampin' Cut embossing folder, the Scripty 3D, and the order number for this one is 149634. So I'm just going to show you what the card looks like before I begin. And I want to show you, this is the first card that I made. This is the first card I made. I liked it, but it was missing an element, I thought. So I did this one and used a Scripty. I thought it looked like an old leather that you would probably find into a treasure box that a grandparent or a loved one probably left behind for someone, or a little love note. So I thought it was quite cute, and it was for anyone. You can just let them know that you're always thinking of them, especially through this difficult time that we're all experiencing with the COVID-19. So let's begin with this card. I'm just going to sit down. And the color choices today consist of Very Vanilla, and that is cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to take our bone folder, Stampin' Up's bone folder, and I'm going to just burnish just ever so much so that it stays folded a little bit better. Then I've got another piece of Very Vanilla that measures 5.5 by 4 1/4, and we're going to be stamping on this one. Then we've got a piece of Rococo Rose that measures 5 1/4 by 4, and that is going to go down onto our base. And then we've got our piece of Merlot, which is cut at 5 by 3 3/4. Now I already got this one done ran through the Big Shot with our embossing folder just to save time for the video. And I've got another little piece of Merlot that is cut at 1 inch by 4. And for our sentiment, I've got a piece of Rococo Rose that measures 3/4 by 3 3/4. So let's begin with our stamping process. So what I want to do is, and the stamps that we will be using is Pear Pizzazz, Rococo Rose, and our Versamark. So first I'm going to stamp with our Pear Pizzazz, and I'm going to take the vine that's into the Very Versatile stamp set. And we're going to ink that up and make sure it's inked fairly well. And then we're just going to stamp down towards the left, towards the top of our page. Now you don't want to come right to the edge, you want to come in a little ways, because we're going to be tearing away some of our paper. As you can see, it's distressed a little bit, so I just tore that. So we're going to tear this down to fit our Merlot, our Mary Merlot paper. So I'm just inking that down and coming straight up. And now we just want this to dry a little bit, so I'm just going to fan it. And I'm going to close up my ink pad because this is it for the Pear Pizzazz. And then I'm just going to lay that to the side for a moment so we can let that dry. And I'm going to stamp up our sentiment, with Rococo Rose. And our sentiment is always thinking of you. So, and I'm just going to lay that down and stamp in the middle as best as you can. So there we go. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our paper snips, and what I'm going to do is just to make it like a border as such, or a banner, is I'm just going to cut a triangle into it. Now, I normally post my videos on Sunday, but my husband just arrived home, and here in Newfoundland, when you arrive from another province, you got to be self-isolating for 14 days. So I've been staying with my sister, so I was unable to post any videos for the last couple of weeks. So today I decided that I would hop on and do a video. So I'll get back on schedule starting on Sunday. I normally post my videos on Sundays, so stay tuned. And I just noticed that that is not cut, so I'm just going to straighten this up a little bit. There we go. Looks a little bit better. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to put this aside. That ink should be dry. Yeah. So we're going to take our Versamark, and we're going to take the script that comes with the stamp set in the Very Versatiles. And we're going to ink this up with Versamark. And we want to ink this up fairly well. Because we want to ink this up fairly well because we're going to be using the remainder on the inside of the card. So, I do believe that this has the right direction of a stamp. So what you want to do, there's a little ledge in the middle down here. I can't tell what the writing says, but you want to make sure this is down towards the bottom, and then up on the top it's over to the right a little bit. So that's how I kind of distinguish how to put this on correctly. So we just want to put this on overlapping the vine, and we're going to push down fairly well. And you're not going to see much of the writing, not as of yet. So then I'm going to get the copper, Stampin' Up's copper stamping embossing powder. Now I'm just getting a sheet of paper that I use for my embossing. So I'm just going to sprinkle the powder on top of our Versamark, and I'm going to tap it off. And now what you want to do is use your heat tool gun and go over this so that it creates a shiny text onto your cardstock. But instead of doing that and having the gun or the heat tool gun blowing in the background, I did one piece prior to the video. So this is what you would get when you apply the heat gun to the embossing powder. It rises your sentiment up, and it gives it a nice sheen look to it. So now, with this piece of paper, we're going to tear or make it distressed, and so that it looks like so. So I'm just going to tear across, and you want to tear towards yourself so that you can get some fragments of the paper. If you tear away from yourself, it's going to end up just looking like a sharp look like this. But I like having the paper fragments looking towards you for the next process of the distressing of the paper. Now I tried to crumple the paper up, take it another step further, but the the ink didn't take to it all that nice, so I decided to leave that one off. So now I don't like these rough bumps as such, so I'm just going to tear some of these away. And now you might like it. So there. And you want to make sure that it does fit inside your Mary Merlot paper. So that's a little bit big, so I'm just going to take it down another little snippet. The preference is up to you on how you, how big or how small you tear it away. Now, let's see if that's a little bit better. I like that much better. Now I want to show you, I did tear away a nice bit on a previous one, so this is where it looks like it's right around the font itself. So if you like the smaller look, you can certainly do that. But I kind of like the bigger look, so that not so much of the Mary Merlot is showing. But before I attach that, I want to show you the step that I did in order to get my script on my paper correctly. Like, as you can see, I've already got this embossed, and here's the embossing folder. So the embossing folder has the script going downwards instead of going across this way. So what you want to do is open it up and put your paper in landscape. Not portrait, but landscape. And you want to have the edge of your paper going along this line here that Stampin' Up has provided, which is their older older embossing folders never had it. So like if anything had a nice decorative design onto it, you're struggling to get it centered and all that kind of stuff, so that you know. But now Stampin' Up has come in on their embossing folders with a line, so that it helps center your paper correctly. So you want to put it in landscape, not portrait, so that your sentiment is going the correct way on your paper. So, and I thought the Scripty kind of tied in with the sentiment that we had stamped onto our front image. I thought it tied in quite lovely. So now that that was done, and you ran that through the Big Shot or any machine that you would have that would emboss. So our next step now for this is to get a sponge brayer, and Stampin' Up sells these. You get 2 brayers with the stick, and you get 4 sponges, sorry. And then I'm going to take the Rococo Rose stamp pad, and I'm just going to roll it over. And you don't want to go back and forth, because you're only getting one side of your roller. You want it to go, pick it up and go through, just like if you were painting the walls. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to rub the roller around the fragment of the paper that's left behind. Just like so. And like I said, I crumpled this up. I wanted a more antique-y look. I crumpled this up and straightened it out. But it was just too much, I thought. It took away from the script that's on to the paper. I'm going to leave that open, actually. So now we're going to attach this to the Mary Merlot. But before doing that, I'm going to attach our Rococo Rose to our card base, our Very Vanilla. So I'm just going to get our Snail Adhesive, and I'm just going to flip over and snail this down. Now, as you can see, I didn't go straight. I did it a little bit crooked or slanted, but you want to make sure that all your 4 corners are within your card base, because you don't want it sticking out. Now this one is stuck out a little bit, but that's fine, but you don't want it sticking out because it won't fit into your envelope. So you want to try to keep it within the perimeter of your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So now, because the Scripty Mary Merlot is embossed, you want to use your tearing tape. Due to where it's risen, sometimes it doesn't stick well to your base. And the tearaway tape is much stronger than the snail. So you just want to varnish that down a little bit. And I like to take your pick tool to get the paper off the back. There we go. And you want to make sure that your script is going the right way. And I'm going to put this on a little bit of a slant or crooked way as well. So I'm just burnishing that down where I put the tearaway tape so that it's stuck fairly well. And you're going to want to put tearaway tape onto your front base as well, because this side is actually risen. So you want to make sure that it has a firm grip onto the parts that's risen. And I'm going to put this on an angle. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our snail. And I'm going to snail that onto our Mary Merlot. And what I'm going to do is make sure there. And then I'm going to use, that disappeared on me, some dimensionals. And then we're just gonna, this card is not straight by no means. So it's great for anyone who has trouble trying to keep their sentiment on straight and that kind of stuff. So it kind of gives away from that look of having to be straight all the time. So there's the front. Now it's not quite done. I do like putting embellishments onto my cards. So I thought, since I use copper and the designer elements got copper embellishments, so I figured I would use one of these. And this time I'm going to put it up towards the top. So it just adds a little more pizzazz to the front of the card. So now the inside. Remember I said that you don't want to clean your Versamark off your stamp pad? So the Versamark, you still see that there's still a layer of the Versamark on here. So what I'm going to do, and my Versamark, I don't know if you noticed, it's got a pink to it. Just over time, I guess I must have put a stamp that had been inked in pink and went over it with the dye. But it doesn't really matter that much. So I'm just making sure that I've got this down the right way. And then we're just going to stamp. Because it's pink, you're going to see a little bit inside. Now, and if you've got a brand new one, that's fine too as well. Don't go contaminating it. You'll still see the font inside. So I'm just bringing this up a little bit closer. See where it's a bit pink? So I'm just going to leave it like that because the pink ties into my card. And then I'm going to take the sentiment. How did I get so lucky to have a friend like you? So I'm just going to ink that up with Rococo Rose. And I'm going to stamp straight down. And here we go. That is our card done for this week. So what do you think? So here's the one that I had shown with the embellishment on the bottom, and here's the one with the one on top. And you can certainly step it up a little bit more and tear this away if you want it to make it like an old letter, I should say. But I thought it was just quite elegant just the way that it is. So I want to say thank you for watching, and join me this Sunday around, I would say probably 7 o'clock Newfoundland time for my latest project video. If you like a catalog or place an order, OSA stamp class, if you live here in Newfoundland, Canada, you can visit my demonstrator webpage, which is joannjohnson.stampinup.net, and that's JOANNJOHNSON.stampinup, so STAMPINUP.net. Or if you have any questions or anything like that, you can certainly reach out to me by email at craftinginspirations@outlook.com. And please remember to like this video and to share it with your friends. Thank you, and stay safe through the COVID-19, and I'll see you Sunday. Bye-bye.